Good day and welcome. This time, let's have factoring polynomials using the factor theorem. Let's have this example. Let f of x is equal to x cubed plus 5x squared minus 12x minus 36. As what you've learned before, the question here is the binomial x minus 3 a factor of the given polynomial f of x? We learned before that we can determine whether the given binomial is a factor by simply applying synthetic division. As you can see here, the remainder is 0, therefore, we can conclude that x minus 3 is a factor of this polynomial. But the question doesn't end here because there is another question to continue this kind of problem. And what is that question? Here it is. What are the other factors of f of x? Meaning to say, we have to look for other factors. We know that x minus 3 is already a factor. But then, this is not just the factor. That's the next question here that we have to look for. We have to look for the other factors of the given polynomial. When you divide the polynomial by one of the binomial factors, the quotient is called a depressed equation. The polynomial x cubed plus 5x squared minus 12x minus 36 can be factored as x minus 3, which is the divisor a while ago, and x squared plus 8x plus 12, which is the result after doing the synthetic division. And we call it here as the depressed polynomial, which is also factorable. So meaning to say, from this depressed polynomial, we need to factor this for us to come out or to get the other factors, because that's the next question, that's the next problem. We have to look for the other factors aside from x minus 3. Based on what you've learned before in the lower grades, since grade 8, we can factor this quadratic equation. And how to factor this? So simply put two parentheses. So x squared will be x and x. Looking at this 12 here, we have to think of the factors. What are the possible factors? So we have 4 and 3. We have 2 and 6. We have 1 and 12. So we have to choose what is our basis of choosing the factors. Of course, it's the middle term here. It's 8x, so we have to choose among the given factors, which will give us 8 when we add. So 4 plus 3 will give us 7, so it's not a choice because our middle term here is 8x. 2 plus 6 is 8. And of course, 1 plus 12 is 13. So our choice therefore is 2 and 6. So it's very easy here because everything is addition. So we don't need to worry whether plus or minus. So simply put plus to both factors and simply copy 2 and 6. So therefore, the other factors of the given polynomial are x plus 2 and x plus 6. So these are the other factors that we have to look for. Factor theorem also states that if x minus c is a factor of f of x, then c is also a zero of f of x. A zero of f of x is a root or a solution of the equation f of x is equal to 0. Aside from the factors, we have to look for 0, root, or solution. These three terms here mean the same. So 0 is the same as root and the same as solution. And these are all the values of x. This time, let me give you examples on how to find the factors, zeros, or roots of the given polynomial. Let's have example number 1. F of x is equal to x cubed minus 8x squared plus x plus 42. And the given here is one of its factors, which is x minus 7. The value of x here is x is equal to 7. And this 7 will be our divisor when we do the synthetic division. Step number 1, let's do the synthetic division for us to come up with the depressed polynomial. So let's write 7 here as the divisor. And then let us enumerate all the coefficients of the given polynomial. So beside x cubed, we have 1, followed by negative 8, plus 1 beside x, and finally plus 42. Let's solve following the steps in solving synthetic division. So bring down 1. 1 times 7 is 7. Negative 8 plus 7 is negative 1. Negative 1 times 7 is negative 7. 1 plus negative 7 is negative 6. Negative 6 times 7 is negative 42. 42 minus 42 is 0. Now, let's have the depressed polynomial. So, 1x squared, y squared again. Looking at the highest exponent here, always minus 1. So, 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. And this 2 will be your first exponent here in your depressed polynomial. So, x squared minus 1 here again. So, that's 1x. Then minus 6. This is our depressed polynomial, which is our basis for us to look for the other factors. Factoring this will give us, so x and x for x squared. Negative 6 can be factored as 3 and 2. Now, let's consider the middle term, which is negative 1. So, obviously, 3 minus 2 is 1, but take note that 1 here is negative. So, your higher number should be negative. So, 3 is higher than 2, so your 3 should be negative. So, this will be negative 3 plus 2, which will give us negative 1, the middle term. So, it's safe to write now x minus 3 and x plus 2. So therefore, these are the other factors of the given polynomial. So these are the factors that we are looking for. And now for the other roots or zeros, of course, we just look at the given factors and get the values of x. So from x minus 3, we have x is equal to 3. And from x plus 2, we have x is equal to negative 2. Therefore, the other factors are 3 and negative 2. So let's repeat. The factors of the given polynomial are x minus 7, which is the given, and the factors that we look for are x minus 3 and x plus 2. And for the roots, the given root is 7, which is based from the given factor. And the other roots that we were able to solve are 3 and negative 2. Next, let's have example number 2. F of x is equal to x to the fourth minus 5x squared minus 36. And the given here is x is equal to 3. This is root. And this will be our divisor when we do the synthetic division. So let's write here 3 as the divisor and let's enumerate the coefficients. So beside x to the fourth, we have 1 minus 5x squared, but please take note, there is missing x cubed. So before x squared, there should be x cubed first. So let us put 0 to represent the missing term, which is x cubed, followed by minus 5, the coefficient of x squared. Before minus 36, there's another missing, which is x to the first. So let's put 0 again. And finally, let's have minus 36 or negative 36. Solve this. Bring down 1. 1 times 3 is 3. 0 plus 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Negative 5 plus 9 is positive 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 0 plus 12 is 12. And 12 times 3 is 36. So negative 36 plus 36 is 0. Now, let's write this as a depressed polynomial. So, this will be 1x, or simply write x. 4 is the highest here, minus 1. So, this will be x cubed plus 3x squared plus 4x plus 12. So, it's quite long. We have 4 terms. But if you master your factoring techniques, then it's easy to solve this. When you see 4 terms, always think of factoring by grouping. So use factoring by grouping. So let's see which 2 terms can be grouped here for us to come up with factors. So looking at the given, we have x cubed here and 3x squared. There is common factor, which is x squared. We can also consider this for x and 12 because there is common factor, which is 4. So let's try. Let's put parentheses. So if x cubed plus 3x squared, there is common factor, which is x squared. So we can bring out x squared. And then what will remain inside? X cubed divided by x squared is x, plus 3x squared divided by x squared is 3. What about this part? So the common factor is 4. Let's bring out 4. So plus 4. Now 4x divided by 4 is x, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. So take note, or please remember, that the goal in factoring by grouping is for us to have the same terms inside the parentheses. And obviously, the 2 terms or the 2 expressions are the same. So therefore, our factoring by grouping is correct. So continuing this will give us, as the rule, as long as they are the same, we can write them as 1. Then plus, we can combine the terms outside. So this will be x squared plus 4. So plus x squared plus 4. I'm sorry, let's remove plus. These are factors now, so no more plus sign in between. So let me delete this plus sign. It should be multiplication. So no more plus or minus in between. So we have now the other factors. So these are the other factors, x plus 3 and x squared plus 4. So these are the factors that we are looking for. Now let's have the roots or zeros of the given polynomial. So looking at this, 1x, one value of root is x is equal to negative 3. And looking at this, x squared plus 4, x squared plus 4 will be x squared equals negative 4. So transpose 4 to the right. And then let's get the square root. So x is equal to, if you have negative square, we cannot get the square root of negative. This will give us complex numbers. So based on what you've learned before, this is the same as, negative 4 is the same as 4 times negative 1. So there is square root now for 4, which is positive and negative 2. So continuing this will give us x is equal to positive negative 2, and we still have square root of negative 1. So square root of negative 1. Now, x is equal to positive negative 2. We know that square root of negative 1 is I. So always remember, square root of negative 1 is imaginary number. We can write square root of negative 1 as simply I. So these are the other roots, positive 2i and negative 2i. So let's summarize. The other two factors are x plus 3 and x squared plus 4. And the other roots are negative 3, positive 2i, and negative 2i. That's all for now. Thank you once again for watching and listening to my presentation.